Take us through this. We'll put up a chart showing there's pretty substantial growth in the total value of billionaires.
Well, you just said it earlier in the earlier segment, the rich are getting richer and they're getting richer faster. I mean, that's the reality. We had unprecedented growth this year in billionaire wealth, up 19%, both in absolute and percentage terms. It's the largest growth we've seen in some time, and it's all driven by innovation. And
we've got a really cool chart just that we're showing all our viewers.
We took it from you, actually.
And we did take it from you, but that yellow part shows kind of the growth that we're seeing in the Asia Pacific region.
Yeah, Carol, it's unprecedented. This is the Chinese century.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you think about China just alone, there were 16 billionaires in China in 2006. There's 373 billionaires in China today. So it's an amazing acceleration of growth just in China and Asia. There's 2 new billionaires being created in China a week, 3 new billionaires being created in Asia a week. So it's really unprecedented, and we don't see that changing anytime soon.
You know, I was thinking as I read through the report, what does this mean kind of for the world financial order?
Well, I think you're going to see it start to shift. I mean, listen, the U.S. has always been home to innovation. We are the land of innovation. But the Asian, APAC part of the world, particularly China, is starting to challenge that a little bit. That may be a good thing sometimes, right? A little competition is not bad, but we are starting to see that shift. And the demographic trends are not going to slow it down. You can't deny the number of people. There's 770 million people on the internet just in Asia and just in China alone, excuse me.
Right.
As you think of the impact and the power.
Large numbers,
it's the law of large
extent.
numbers, and it's not going to change. Now, the markets are going to go up and down, and we have volatility, right? But over the long term, we just don't see that changing.
So in Asia, you often are looking at relatively young people making this money off of IPOs in tech and things like that. Let's come back to the United States and talk about an aging billionaires population and the amount of money that's being handed over from generation to generation.
Right. There's a massive wealth transfer about to happen. We're at the very beginning of it. Our calculations is over $3.5 trillion will just change hands in billionaires' hands alone. 40% of our billionaire wealth is over 70 years old. So the next 20 years, we're going to see this massive wealth transfer, which creates a lot of opportunity and a lot of good discussions with the families.
Well, let's talk opportunity, John. I'm curious what folks are doing with all of this money. Are they philanthropic? Are they, we've seen a lot of the ultra high net worth individuals getting into PE, making investments in companies, like moving into a lot of alternative investments. What are they doing with the money?
Well, yeah, all of the above, by the way. I mean, it depends on the market you're talking about. In the U.S., philanthropy is really big, right? It's how do you keep your legacy alive? You're getting into Generation 2 and Generation 3, and it's very important. That's new in Asia, and particularly China. These are all self-made, first-generation billionaires. I think over the next decade, what you're going to see in Asia is going to be dramatic in terms of philanthropy. In terms of investments, absolutely. Many of them use UBS, by the way, because we're a global bank, and we have a network of other clients like them all over the world, and they want the opportunity to invest side by side, to do direct types of investments with them, and have global capabilities that maybe they don't have in the country that they live in.
Just fascinating.
But it's the network, and then it's the legacy. What we're going to see is this massive wealth transfer, and the legacy planning is super important going forward.